Okay, we're live, guys. That we
Hey.
are.
Oh,
Say hi to everyone, and I'll join you guys
hello,
in a
everybody.
second.
Right there.
What? I'm just going to turn down.
Okay, where's our host?
That's
Your, ho-
right. Where's our
your,
host?
your host is invisible.
But I see the street dance room.
Your host is invisible and coming in right now. Hi, guys.
Ah!
Hi. What's up?
What's up?
My favorite people, my favorite people, my favorite people. Hey, audience, you are being joined by two legends right now, and they're going to tell you about their history of being a street dancer, locking and Soul Train, and talking about Don, how they met Don, and different things like that. And you, I'm gonna let them explain all of that stuff to you. Just give you like a little, you know, what's going to happen.
Alpha's involved too. Okay.
but this is all about you guys, and so I just have a like some I guess cleanup to do from last week, and I thank all you guys that was out there and tune in last week and this week. You know, we have Scoo B Doo. You know, you guys all know Scoo B Doo, the legendary Scoo B Doo. And we have Damita Jo Freemen, the legendary Damita Jo Freemen. You know, and they both, I think, actually came on Soul Train at the same time, like the same day, actually. So, but first, I'm gonna do a little cleanup from last week by saying there was one thing I was when I was talking to Scooby about asking, okay, Scooby, how did I do? You know, on this thing. So, and he brought up something. He said, "Oh, you did great," but he brought up something that stuck with me for the whole week. You know, because we're trying to do this every Saturday at 10 o'clock. But I've been thinking about this for this length of time, and he said that like when you that, you know, because one of the panel members said that they brought Don back, and the idea that someone bringing Don back is kind of like kind of weird because he's never left. He left us now, but he left his legacy behind him. But no one had to bring him back because we were always dancing, locking, even if it was just for the fun of it. And for like, they had a place called Homeland in Long Beach that never stopped locking. You know, I mean, they were there every week locking. And then you had like Scooby that was in Japan in the early days, and then Tony Gogo went over there was locking. So locking was not dead. But what I wanted to say is that there's one thing before I go to my main reason for saying this is that when you say that you bringing someone out, like Scooby said, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you are bringing yourself into a dance culture that is still around just because you step in, and no offense, it's just, you know, you're just in it, right? So it's good to spread it. We want everyone to spread the idea that locking is still here. We love locking. I mean, if it wasn't for locking, I don't know where I would be. And I say that every time I talk, you know, so when you say that you introduced him and stuff like that, I'm not gonna, we can agree to disagree with that, because you know, no one has to introduce Don back in nowhere, even now as he's gone. You know, and I want to say this. It's kind of like I'm going to give a shout out to a few people, right? First, I want to give a shout out to Aga. Aga is a person that first got me going out to do these things like 5 years ago almost, and he was the first person to send me. I came to his country in Taiwan, right? And he's the one that makes all my logos and a lot of other people's logos and stuff that went behind. Hey, Aga, I need like a on the left and on the right. I'll put it in my order. but that's a shout out to Aga. But the reason I mentioned Aga not because he's a good friend and that he's part of what I'm doing and he's helping me in every which way. I appreciate you, Aga. Thank you so much. But Aga. Yeah, Aga. Scooby knows Aga. But the main thing is that I want to give the other shout out to Skeeter Rabbit, because Skeeter Rabbit is another person that you could agree to disagree, but he's my brother. I love him like he's my brother, and I respect him. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have been going out, because he's the one that kept my name alive out there. The name Alpha Dance, yeah, it was out there, but a lot of people didn't know who I was. And Skeeter Rabbit made it his mission on telling people who people were and where they came from and their dance, right? So I give you a big shout out, my brother. You know how I feel about you. So it's all good, and I appreciate what you did, and I want you to know that, sir. I really do, and like I'm not the only person that he talks about a lot, but I'll let him one day, if he decides to come on, talk to you about that. But we're here to talk about what my panel wants to talk about, anything they want. So I'm Alpha Omega Anderson, better known as Alpha. I'm one of the OGs from the day. I'm a proud locker. I always tell people, proud locker that had his own crazy style from Louisiana, but locking was every bit of part of me as it was for any other locker that ever did a muscle man pose or lock or Scooby Doo or wrist roll or anything else. So, and I want you to know the person I'm going to introduce you to is a person that has created a lot of these moves. Both of these people have done that, and they're going to tell you about these things. But I don't know if you noticed some of the things that was happening with that James Brown thing that Damita was doing, that you could see the moves that she had before, like Locking the Jet came out. She was doing things that you guys do right now, I mean, maybe a little bit more expressive, more out there, but Damita, yes. I would like to turn it over to you. And after you tell people who you are, why you love dance and why you are a street dancer and what street dancer did for you, I have questions to ask you later on in this, but right now, guys, Damita Jo Freemen, my friend.
Wait,
hey, turn off the phone.
Trying to figure out how you turn it off. I'm so sorry. My time to talk, and then the phone rings. Okay. Thank you. But what I wanted to say is my name, of course, is Damita Jo Freemen, and in the all my life, I want to be a ballet dancer. Ta-da! Ballet, open up and everything, because I love dance. And so when I went to a dance class and learned all of that, okay, in the 70s, of course, I graduated. And for my gift, I get to go to Mavericks Flat. And that's a club that all young kids used to go, but I was kind of a quiet person because I was a ballerina. I was in that world of what Ballachine, and that was my world. But this world, honey, there was the street dances. But I always wanted to be Miss Diana Ross. Thank you very much. We all wanted to be, Martha and the Vandellas. Come on, hello. But anyway, when I walked in with my three friends, I looked around. It was a magical thing for me. I mean, everybody was on the dance floor and they were jamming and stuff like that, but nobody wanted to dance with me. So I don't know if it was that great. But and my girlfriends used to say, "Come on, guys, come on and dance." I would dance with them, but the guys wouldn't even ask me to dance. But who walked in was 3 guys. One of them was Don Campbell. The second one was Scoo B Doo. The third one was Perry Brown. And when they came in, their dancing, it fascinated me so. It was so it was the bomb. I mean, they just, every beat, but they were kind of cool with the girls, you know. Girls had many outfits on and they were kind of cute and you know, they were really cool, you know. And then all of a sudden, bam, boom, bop, bop, bing, bing, you know. And then that's when that girl went backing up and they're slowly disappearing. And then the floor ends up with the 3 guys. And when the 3 guys, they didn't care. They just took over. They just kept dancing. Scoo B Doo was out there doing his little thing. Camel was going, pointing, split, you know, and Perry had a jumpsuit on and Perry was just dancing. I just sat there and my girlfriends kept saying, oh, Damita, go out there and dance with them. And I went, no, thank you. I don't think so. You could do that. So that was on a Thursday. I didn't really deal with them that much. So I went on home. And when I went home, I was thinking about them 24 hours. Then I went on a Friday, went to another club. With a hot club, all kids. I didn't know anything about these clubs. My girlfriends did. It was called The Climax.
Yeah.
And, now it was in a movie called Thank God It's Friday or whatever like that. But it was big, it was beautiful. And when I walked in, it was another magical thing that was happening. All the kids were on the floor. The place was so big and everything. And looking on that floor, I saw those 3 guys dancing again. And I went, oh my God. And so I just really was talking to my girlfriend and said, you know what, that guy, Don Campbell, I didn't know him at the time, but he danced pretty good. And his best friend, Eddie, was standing next to me. And he said, don't tell him that. His head is already this big. You're going to make it bigger. And I said, I don't care. I said, and I went off, I pointed to him, and I said, you dance good. And this, so then he referred to, after this song,
Yeah.
we're going, no. I was going, no. And so the music ended. Then he grabbed my hand and I just called the breakdown. So I was being very cool. I was, you know, and so my girlfriends were yelling, follow him. I just kept saying, oh, okay. And so when he started following me, you know, he started locking, I locked. His hands were going. My hands started going. And he was going around. Of course, he was splitting. I couldn't split, but I could. He was split so close to me, I could throw my leg up. So I threw my leg up around him, shot him, and who joined in with him? Scoo B Doo. Scoo B Doo joined in. And then I'm going, oh my God. And then I noticed that he was doing a dance where his legs go out, in, out, in, out. You know, he would kick. So that's, to me, that's Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin always walked like that, you know, always. And so therefore, he was the Charlie Chaplin to me. And then who else came in was Perry. So now I got 3 guys jamming with him. And I went, oh my God. And that was the birth of how we got together and we started dancing, going to clubs, winning, and I mean, meeting each other, hanging out with each other. That was the bomb until I went out of the city. I joined into another play called Candide with, and I was really excited, my first opera, but I was still, that's the other world. I was craving world. So I finally came back, and to surprise everybody, I thought I would go to Mavis Flat on a Thursday. So I went on a Thursday, and I saw all of them. We were all happy. We were screaming, dancing. Oh my God! I came back. start dancing. And then everybody, we took a little break because we danced forever. Honey, sweat comes off of us all. But anyway, it's time for me to get a drink. And who stepped is a lady by the name of Pam Brown. And she is known as the team coordinator for Soul Train. Now, I don't know anything about no Soul Train. I've never seen no Soul Train or anything. And she told me I danced real good, and I told her, thank you. And then she mentioned about being in a contest at Soul Train. So I'm thinking Soul Train was a club, and she's asking to be a, and I'm just sitting there going, yeah, well, whatever. And so anyway, she told me that be sure to come, you know, Friday. And she was telling me that it was going to be like an audition, you know. So I'm really kind of confused. This is a contest, you know, why you got to audition for me at a contest? But anyway, Campbell came up, and I said, some lady came up to me talking about Soul Train. He said, Soul Train! He said, that lady was talking to me earlier and to be on Soul Train. He said, that's what I was coming to task you. Could you dance with me on Soul Train? And I went, okay. But still, you didn't say Soul Train was a TV show. You said Soul Train. So I'm still kind of confused as why is everybody so excited about this club? So anyway, I went on this, went to audition, and there who walks through the door is two guys. Campbell said, oh my God, when they walked in, one looked like Superfly, the other looked like Shaft. And they came in, and I went, and Campbell said, oh, there's Don Cornelius. And I said, which one? And that's when his friend, Eddie, was saying, you don't really know Soul Train? I said, are we here for a contest? He said, this is going to be on TV. Now I can't believe it. But I wanted to tell all the guys that I went to an audition and all about Soul Train. But Campbell wouldn't let me do it. He wouldn't let me talk to them. Should go on first, and then we should tell them. So we did. We went on a Saturday, and I didn't like Soul Train at all. It was terrible. You know, everybody seemed very upset because we were there. I didn't get it. Every time we stood someplace, there was somebody saying, that's our place. We always stand there. Oh, okay. So we move over here. No, we always, somebody's always saying, even I told Campbell, I said, well, let's go behind the stage because nobody's really behind the stage. And little did I know, their guest star was Thelma Houston, who is my friend today. But anyway, she was singing, and guess who was behind her? We were. Hello. So by showing her, you got to show us. So everybody got really excited. And of course, we went on that contest. And of course, we danced in a little kind of corner in the front. You know, Campbell was mad because people started seeing his dance and start imitating. You know, hit the floor, whatever. And Campbell was like, I'm gonna do mine. So therefore, and we won, and we were on. And so anyway, I was laughing at Campbell because Campbell thought he was going to win some money. It was a contest, you know, but all we got was, we're going to be in a bigger contest, you know, on Soul Train. And so Don was like, oh, okay. So as we heading home and we're going to go to the climax, a lady by the name of Pam Brown came out again and asked us, do we have any friends? Can we bring any friends tomorrow for the shooting? And I was going like, well, do they have to audition? No, they're your friends. So therefore, we're back. Everybody was talking about, well, we've been trying to get you guys all day, you know, because we lived in a world in a time when we didn't have no cell phones and nothing. You know, you go on the corner and you make a phone call and stuff like that. So anyway, we said, I went on a stupid show called Soul Train. Everybody gasped. Soul Train, you just walked in and you got on Soul Train. You know, we want to be on Soul Train. I said, I didn't know all that. Y'all can be on it tomorrow. Just be in my house at 6 o'clock in the morning and we'll, bam. And that Saturday, after Saturday, that was us. Sunday, and that was 2 shows on Sunday, which I thought it was weird because we only got 1 chicken that whole day, 1 Coke that whole day, and we were there at 7 o'clock in the morning and didn't leave there until 1 or 2 in the morning. You know, hello. So I wasn't, and of course, there was no dressing room. It was a bathroom and it stank. But this is where you change clothes and everything. And anyway, nobody on that set really smiled. Nobody really looked like they were having fun. It was, but to me, I was really shocked because this was a whole place that had Black people running everything. Shocked me like a mother. The only person I could see was Campbell's friend, the one, the Superfly. He was white shining armor or whatever like that. But anyway, that was when we got on the show. And when we got on the show, okay, Scooby won. Okay, Perry won. And we had another one called Little Joe. And Little Joe was with us. And so therefore, everybody wanted to dance and look like us. And Scooby, you would know, all the girls wanted to be around you and, you know, be there and dance. And a girl named Pat Davis, she could dance with you. She could dance with, I just sat back and said, this is one crazy thing. But that was the first time that the whole gang, and we went in there kind of like November, but we really went in 71, and but we weren't seen on TV until 72 in February. So they did all these shows before that, but that's when we came on. So that was the beginning of because see, Soul Train just came from Chicago on down. And therefore they didn't emphasize a lot on the dances, but they didn't have top people. We didn't have no Aretha Franklin. We didn't have no Stevie Wonder. We had Don Caney's cousin, Bobby Womack. And then we would have Gladys Knight, and we have wanted young men, single and free, who the 3 ladies. But it was all the time them. So they focused on the dancers. More dancing songs went on. We did the Soul Train line, and I watched how the kids, they want to go down that Soul Train line. So I was always on the side saying, keep going. I don't care if the camera's on or not on. Keep going. Go down the Soul Train line. Because I wanted everybody. I could see how everybody was enthused, especially the kids, and the clothes that we were wearing, and then I was trying to stop so many. You know, you can't stand here, you can't be over there, or you can't. I mean, I'm the first one that says, okay, don't we have somebody? Because we're sweating, we're splitting pants. Don't we have somebody looking after us? I mean, I even stopped that 1 Coke thing when I'm a curious person. So I'm walking around the studio and I go into Don Canez's dressing room and I saw a trash can. It had all the Cokes you could think of and ice and everything. So I called Scooby and I called Perry to come down, get this trash can, and we went all the way up, put that on the set. And I yelled out, break!
I remember.
So I just knew deep down Don Canez was going to throw me away, but I didn't care. But on that second day when we were there, that's when Joe Tex came into my life.
Yeah.
So, and I danced on that that day, and I don't know, everybody's life really kind of changed by being on that show. I mean, we got a chance to go to clubs, honey, free. Oh, they're in the Soul Train. Oh, come on in. You know. Oh, you can park right in front. Yeah, that's it. You know. But I mean, we were, excuse us, we were the stars.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Well, that's all I'm gonna say right now.
But we got more for you. We're gonna be.
No. I mean, we can go back and forth, can we?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Well,
got plenty of time.
Scooby, you can pick it up from there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna bring Scooby on because um, just but I didn't mention that when I introduced Damita, when I started Soul Train, I met all the guys, but um, the person that gave me my first, and I say this all the time, my my first professional job was Damita, dancing, opening up for James Brown, and Scooby was there too. He was on stage,
Of course.
and yeah, it was like I think it was 7 people, Wonder and Eddie and
Yeah.
St. Perry. So it was, and that was a delight for me. And being that I just came from Louisiana, country boy, lived on a farm, and to be on this show they call Soul Train, and someone is saying you can dance with James Brown or just be on the stage that he's on, made my day. So, Damita, I always, I love you. So, but thank you as usual. And then to bring Scooby on is when I first met all the guys, the first day that I came on Soul Train, Scooby was there, and out of all the guys, I got a chance to meet everyone. We were all friends, but Scooby and I we ended up being best friends from '72 until now. I mean, I have friends. I have great friends. I have Deputy. I have Lionel. I have my friend called Greg, and I have good friends. But my best friend, even when he was supposed to have been dead, I was still letting people know that he was my best friend.
He disappeared so long ago. Everybody assumed he was dead. That's right.
And my career of dance was I had a great career of dance, but it was just that was my friend. He's still my friend. I'm proud to say that he's my friend. And I want you guys to all know that this legend here came back to life in a big way. Everyone knows all over the world who Scooby Doo is. They might have heard the dance Scooby Doo, but now everyone actually knows who he is. So, Scooby.
Here myself.
Welcome to our little get together.
Okay. Well, I really introduce. I mean, I really love to hear Damita talk. Yeah.
Talking.
No, you don't talk very long either.
I love you for saying that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I
But,
love it.
I like to introduce myself. My name is Jimmy Scooby Doo. And Alpha, he's one of my best friends. And I would like to say to everybody who is listening from China, from Japan, wherever you're at, whatever country, welcome. You're welcome here to listen to all of us talk about locking. Okay? And I want to say this. From Alpha and Damita, we both are saying that we're giving honor to the family of Don Campbell and Tyrone the Bone.
Yay!
Yes, we're giving honor to them because they were all here at the time when we start rising. This locking was these stripes right here means when you walk in the club and you're wearing these, they know who you are. Oh, yeah, they know who you are. When you wear these stripes, and you know what? These stripes are letting you know that one thing. And wait a minute, I won't even say it. What is that one thing that they're letting them know, Alpha? That's right, that you're a locker. And that's what they're doing. That's what these signs are for. Alpha asked me to come on here, and he said, Scooby, I want you to come on here and I want to ask you some questions, and I want you to know about what do you think about last week. And well, one thing that I noticed, but Alpha just straightened it out, is that they were saying they brought Don Campbell, and if it wasn't for them, Don Campbell would, anybody who brought Don Campbell back or they introduce him, if you are a locker, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to talk about Don Campbell. He created this thing. How would you leave him out? You leave him out. So you did what you were supposed to do. This is what I would do. This is what Damita would do. This is what anybody who said, hey, you know what? We need to tell Don Campbell about this. This is great. That's just something that you just do. Okay, so there was a couple of things that I seen on there that I just wanted to create. There's more things I want to create, but talk about, but first I want to talk about that. And there's something else. But anyway, Alpha has questions for me and Damita. And I just wanted to thank everybody. Wait a minute. If there's anybody from Soul Train watching this, like Freddie Max and Sharon and Pat Davis and Son Davis, Thelma. I almost said Thelma. Thelma! You have to say hello to Thelma.
That's right.
She will knock you out later.
That's right.
We love some Thelma.
Say hello to me. So Thelma, hello.
Since I have you right now, my question to you is, what's it like, you and Don, like, I would say, what's the memories about Don and how you met Don and what he means to you and yeah, tell us all of that. Tell us something about Don and you. Because I know that you guys were really close in the very beginning. You guys, you were the second person to ever do locking besides Don. Don first is Don, and then you. So let us know. Tell us about it.
Okay, I didn't get that. You talking to me or Damita?
You.
You're talking about, oh, okay. Yeah, let me say this. Well, everything that happened with me and Damita, with Don Campbell in the beginning was mostly going to him asking me, do I have a car? And when I said, yes, I do have a car, he wanted to go every place he wasn't able to go with his friends. Now he has a friend like me who's following him, trying to dance like him. So he wants to show me everything what's happening out there. He wants to show off that he knows a lot, okay? And so one thing that he did do after a while of us going out, he wanted to win all the time. He wanted to win at the clubs. This was before we met Damita, and this was before I met Alpha and anybody, Camelot Jr. We didn't meet none of them. So I was taking Don Campbell to places to get in the contest, and he didn't. No, I didn't dance, but the places that we went to, they knew him already from dancing. And but the reason why I'm blaming bringing this up is because this one, it has something to do with your stuff last week when you talked, Alpha. The reason why I'm bringing this one about where Don did, we went to that club, and Don has, I don't think he has never ever been to that particular club. And we're walking up, everybody is dressed up. It's all, let's say 98% is white. And it was a contest there. And I didn't dance, and Don did at that time. And so he had on bell bottom bass. I can't even say it. Bell bottoms. And he didn't put his stripes up yet. He kept his what do you call that?
Yes, a vest.
Yeah.
His crochet vest.
And he didn't even put his hat on. He kept it down. So we walked in, and it was real quiet, you know. So he got inside the contest, and he put his name in there and stuff like that. To, you know, you had to put your name in there to be called. So he comes over to me, and Don Campbell says, Scooby, he says, boy, these, and this is when Patty H, and you remember her, Alva? Patty H, and swim, or what? Yeah, all these people, and they was all dressed up, you know. And so Don comes over to me, and he says, you know what, Scooby? He says, now Don knows he has never, ever, ever, since the whole time we've been together, he has never lost a dance contest. And he looked at these people, he's going, wow, all these people know each other. So he's thinking to himself, this would be the first time that I lose, because you know, they don't know me. They never seen me before. He's like, maybe we should go, you know, maybe we should go somewhere else. And I said, well, it's up to you and me, you know. I'm like a square. I'm like, yeah, okay, if you want to go, we can, I'll take it back home. And he says, well, we'll sit around Martin and see. And so we're just looking and looking. And so then all of a sudden they called Don's name. Don starts walking up to the dance, and there's a seat right there. And he sat down in there in that seat, and he looks over at me like this. If he wanted to stay, it's like I could read his mind. He looked at me and said, yeah, I don't know if I should even be here. You know, it's looking at me like that. So let's freeze that for a minute. That look that he gave me, right? Let's freeze that, and let's jump 6 months ahead of that. And then I'm gonna tell you what that look was. The reason why he was looking at me, because 6 months later, after that day, but I'm not going to tell you what happened, Don was telling me, I seen he always winning these dance contests. And he's always telling me that he wants to have a style named locking. And I didn't know nothing about that. I said, locking? He says, yeah, Camelot, I want to name it this thing that I'm doing, and I think I want to like maybe get a group and something like that, you know. And and he's talking about the stripes, and this is 6 months after that. He's talking about all these things. He's saying, you know what? One of these days, this thing is going to be famous, and you know, he's telling me the old thing. This is 6 months later. So let's go back to him when he's looking at me. So all that is in his head. So he's thinking, if I lose this, it ain't gonna be nothing. He's looking at me like that. And then so all of a sudden they put his music on. And the music that they put on, they played good music for everybody. But when they played Don Campbell's song, when they put that on, Don looked at me like, see, that's what I'm talking about. What in the hell is that? And Don said, no, I'm not fitting. So Don Campbell looked at me, and I looked at him like this. Come on, man, you're Don Campbell. Come on, man, you can dance. I looked at him like that, right? So he looked at me and said, you know what? Forget about this, to himself. He's sitting right there. You know what? Scoo, you're right. That look I gave him. All of a sudden, I'm looking at Don Campbell and that crazy music he had on. All of a sudden, I look at Don Campbell. He takes his bell pops, whatever you call it, and he puts tucking in his shoes. And I'm like, what's he doing? And all of a sudden, he tucked in the other side. He took his hat, he put them strips of blood. He looked at me and said, Scooby. He said, you know what? Now, he didn't say this, but he's looking at me like, you know what? I'm going to show all these people who I am. That's right. I'm going to show them I'm a locker. God, you don't have to play no music for me. I'm telling you, you can turn that stuff off because I'm still getting there. He said, you know what? In fact, I'm dancing for all the lockers in the freaking world right now. And right then the guy noticed that the music wasn't good and they put on James Brown. Get up off of that.
That's his favorite.
Get up off of that thing. Boy, Don Campbell walked out of that motherfucker. He started doing splits. He did 2 splits back to back. He didn't come right back up and do 1 split. He did 2 of them. He said, bop, bop. Well, maybe 3 times. And all of a sudden, he starts doing pointing and everything and slapping behind his back. Oh, wait a minute. He slapped so loud behind his back that the first 2 rows of people said, damn, did you hear that? All of a sudden, he gave himself 5. He said, you know how you give yourself 5? Bam. He slapped that sucker so loud you can hear it in the park lot. People said, hey, man, did somebody just get shot? He says, there's a black guy in there. He's dancing. Don was good. He was going crazy. When Don Campbell started dancing, he was pointing at his socks. Is a locker. And he walked off. And I don't have to tell you that he won. Yeah, they kind of give him a standing
ovation.
I didn't all that look what he was doing, but it was meant for all that to happen to him, to let them know who we are. Yeah. It's not him, it's not me, it's us. It's all us lockers. That's what it's all about. Anyway, I want to tell you that part about me and Don Campbell.
Thank you very much. That was a good question I asked.
That was good.
I know. Wow, that was exciting. That's stuff I haven't heard before. And I've been running guys for almost 50 years. Wow, that's good. That's very good. And Damita, question for you. You know, like there was a gang of that, you know, the Soul Train gang.
Yes.
And a lot of us put a lot of effort into Soul Train to, you know, to give it our all. We always went full out when it was on Soul Train. But I would like to hear from you. Who was those people? You know, tell me about those people that kind of made Soul Train what it is. Kind of like what people that made locking what it is besides the master Don himself.
Well, when we got on in 1971, you know, everybody was kind of doing their dancing. It was cute. And when we came on, it kind of sparked everything. So that was me, Campbell, of course, Campbell, Scooby, Perry, Little Joe, you were there, Pat Davis, Wanda Fuller, Eddie, Who else was there? Oh, Sweet Tea was even there.
Yes. We gotta love Sweet
But,
Tea.
see, we didn't give the small little, you know, kind of the thing. We created right then and there. I mean, going down Soul Train line, there wasn't a routine. We didn't know who was going to do what. We just looked at each other and, okay, he's about to jump. Okay, that means you got to hold that leg up, or you got to slip under it, or you got to go and you go. I mean, and I wanted to say the robot, you know, the feel of the robot. So, I mean, we as the dancer, exciting. I mean, you can look at American Bandstand. That was here forever since the 50s and everything. But what we brought was not only creativity, but something exciting. And it was so exciting that we caused the artist, Stevie Wonder, he started putting the staccato because we start locking, because we start moving, because we start doing this quickness. That's everybody start changing their music, and our looks were, of course, you know, you go to Newberry's, and when I got the striped socks, I was the first one that came, but I gave Campbell striped socks because he was upset because he couldn't wear his hat because we had ultra sheen, afro sheen. So he wanted, you know, he had to work without the hat. So because he always used to turn the hat, and he always used to do, well, on Soul Train, you're not allowed to have a hat. So therefore, his creativeness came without the hat, but he kept going. We all had this. Campbell gave us freedom to create. We were, everybody was like copying each other. You know, if there was a breakdown, I'm doing a breakdown. But I knew, being a dancer, this is what I wanted to do. But because I wanted to also be accepted, so we stopped making the boy who was on the wall sitting there watching. We made him dance the wall. I'll play with the wall, dance with, forget the girl, get out on that floor and just start moving, you know? So that's being on, and I think Don Kania saw that. And also Tom Hugh, and that's the other guy, the fly white guy, but anyway, he was nice and everything, but because they could not get the top people, the top singers in their hands, a group of people that came on that show and just exploded it. That's why, to me, people will always remember Soul Train, because they remember the dancing, they remember the freedom, they remember the laughter, they remember the creativity that we did. I mean, when Scooby and we did the stop and go, they actually had on Soul Train Dance of the Month. And we created, you know, we have Gary Keys and Pat Davis. They did the stop and go, or the slow motion. So it was just different. I mean, that's the one step that Don Kania is even like, slow motion. He loved that dance. You see him that time when he fell with the Preems. Remember, he accidentally fell down the line, but he was doing a slow motion with his girls. Okay. But anyway, what I'm just saying is that we created, I mean, it expanded his own mind of what he wanted Soul Train to be, because he saw our creativity grow. So therefore, by being on Soul Train, it made Black young kids have a dream to not only be dancers of the streets or, you know, whatever. They can now get on show business and grab what the white people, white dancers had. They had ideas. They can smile. They can laugh. They had a show. That's what Don Kanias gave all of us. I don't care. He goes through all the trials and tribulations. There's always trials and tribulations in order to make something great. But he did something that was the birth of Black young kids. I mean, we now, because in that time, white people were scared to walk across the street. Oh, there's a Black guy. Oh, we got to walk across the street. Oh, he's going to steal something. No, young kids, we can smile, we can dance. They begin to like us. So that's what I loved about Soul Train, because it came out. Even when we did the handshake, me and Scooby, when we did our handshake, it was off the streets. Every movement we did, our contribution to everything in dance, we always imitate something from the street, something that we grew up, we take away, and we show it to the world. A lot of people go, oh, I love that dance step. Yeah, but that dance step had history in it. You know, back, you know, the closeness that we all had is because we were from this little environment. And now we were able to expand. You could go to Japan. You could go to Europe. You could go to all these different places. And we let even the guy who invented a play called the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
Okay, he did another very top play. I forgot the name of it, but it was about trains. And anyway, it was a roller skating place. But what did he do? He made a fast train, a shiny train. And what did that train give? Was locking. And Jeffrey Daniels played a character of locking. So from now on, whenever they do this play, that person has to know locking, how to, and do it on skates. In order for them to, they put anybody in there, but you got to know about locking. This is what Campbell did. He expanded out. When I went on TV, when I start transitioning to TV, and on the side, I would do my little locking or movement. Producers would task the choreographers. Well, why can't I have that on there? A piece of that. I mean, we're doing ballet, we're doing modern, but no, there's this other side, this locking thing, this split, grabbing the leg, pop, you know, everything was flex. You can do flex, you can bend knees, you could create, and you can love. That's what Soul Train to me has gotten. And all you guys, you, Alpha, my God, you know, when you were doing the Alpha, when I ask you, what are you doing dancing? And you said Alpha, and I said Alpha. Call that the Alpha. Oh, and honey, when I first saw that, the first thing in my head was the Russians. Remember the Russians used to do that little kick, and they're on the ground, but you're Russian because one went up. One went up. It was Scoo B Doo. You brought back Charlie Chaplin. Hello. You did easy, and that leg went out. It was gorgeous. And to me, every dancing that everybody did, even my love for it. I mean, it was so creative that I just was. I mean, you guys were my knight in shining armors. I'm sorry. Am I still talking? No, I'm shutting up.
No, thank you. Not for being quiet, but thank you for what you just said. But you know what? We still have some time, but I want to take some time to explain what I'm trying to do myself, right? You know, to keep locking alive, and that's one of the questions that Scooby, that's for him to answer what we can do about keeping locking alive. But the street dance roots is because I am a street dancer. I've always been a street dancer since I realized that I love dancing since I was 13 years old, and I call it street dancing. And when I became a locker, I'm a locker by trade, that's my style. But I'm a street dancer. I put an umbrella up, and I call all of the dances that anyone does that that wasn't made in a dance studio during that time of street dance. Because if now you can create, you know, even a street dance moves, you can learn them inside of a studio and stuff like that, which we didn't have studios back in the Damita might have one for ballet, but not for us. Not for us. But my thing is that I wanted to let you guys know that street dance root is not just for locking. And I started off with locking because that's my history. That's my roots, you know. But when we go into it, we're going to be talking to everyone. I asked Buddha Stretch, he's going to be with me on the 18th of this month to talk about hip hop and stuff. Because like I was telling him, I asked people, I didn't know anyone in New York, and I said to Scoo, who should I talk to? Scoo said, Buddha Stretch. And I said, I got anyone I talked to ask him. So I did. I reached out to him, and I'm looking forward to that. And so my thing is that we have a website that will be it's almost completed, and all of my history, everything that I've done, you know, I've been an entertainer for forever. I was an actor, dancer, choreographer, promoter. I was actually a manager for a retail store for Circuit City, and then I went into the Good Guys, and then I became a general contractor. So all of these things that I've done, I've put into this website, and for dancers, because I'm going to actually sell apparel, and that's to, and I'm gonna sell all electronics, because I used to build theater rooms and stuff like that. And I still have my, you know, I still have my retail business and that. And anything that you want to buy in retail, that say like electronics wise, you can get it from me, and it's like, you know, it's got your manufacturer warranty, and you can buy extra warranties, the whole works, and you'll get a great price. And I'm actually only selling this stuff because I'm retired, but I'm doing this because I can sell it for less than anyone could sell it for, and it's just to dancers. You know, so when I start, you can be a member of a dancer family or anything like that, but you have to be a dancer. And we also putting together a charity, it's a Street Dance Roots charity that we're gonna. We have two things that we're doing with the website, but this is a charity that we put together that finding out dancers that can't afford to take street dance lessons. We're gonna help them, you know, with their lessons by paying the studio, by making deals with the dance studio from place to place. And people that doesn't live in our area, I have on their website, it's called Teachable. And Teachable, what it does is that you go on there and you will see a lot of different dance styles there. And because you register and you are a person that can't afford to pay for a lesson or anything like that, we'll work it out that you able to take from any of these people free, and they'll break down all the lessons to you. And that's Teachable. That's going to be not just locking, it'll be all style of dance, right? And because I promoted for about 15 years, that's what I started doing when locking was not like dead, but it was dying out. And I'll let you guys know why it was like dying a little bit. But I started promoting nightclubs so that I would give dancers a place to go. And the dancers, that's why I know just about every popper that was coming up, because they would come to clubs that I would be promoting, you know. So that's why I know everyone. Sugar Pop and Casper Cooley and One Arm Bandit, Marvin Columbus, you know, all these people that pop in, you know, Pop in Pete, and you know, and Hugo, you name them, I knew them all. I even had a show at the Palace in Hollywood for 3.5 years with a mixture of locking, which was Marvin, and then Gerardo was mainly like the popper, and then we have Patrick Allen, and then we had like 5 other female dancers, which Cindy and April, and the girl you probably know, her name is Kat. She used to dance with Prince. She danced with me for that length of time on stage, and she was just a a workaholic when she danced. And so I used to have to just let her dance by herself because she was just so powerful. So, and other dancers. So I've been helping dancers as long as I could remember. Scooby could tell you, when I used to have my house in Cerritos, the kids would come after school every single day. It was like an afternoon program for them to come to my house. Their parents would drop them off. Stephen Lander, Casper Cooley, and a lot of the other guys from Orange County, they all would come over because I'm a lover of dance. And if I had a job, anyone around me, a deputy, a lino that was around me more so during that time when Scooby was traveling, they had a job. Because I believed in that, and I believe in helping. So that is what I'm doing now. I'm helping, and the last part of this is what I'm doing is that starting next year, especially if I was going to start more this year, but this virus thing kind of slowed us up, is that we're going to have a street dance roots award show. And it's for all street dancers in all categories. You will win awards. First, I was going to do it, like a place to come to, but because of the way the internet is, we're going to do some of it like more live on TV. And then we're going to have the Hall of Fame award for the dancer and we're going to probably put maybe about 6 or 7 people in the Hall of Fame in the beginning because it's so many Hall of Fame people, and we're going to start that. And the best of the year award for that person. What is it called, Damita? The word you would say for a person that most achieved, or
the legendary. I call it something about the legendary achievers, or
yeah, it's just that the person, the person that has worked and you've seen on TV more than you've seen anyone, or
legendary.
that
seasoned legendary.
Yeah, so that person will get award. So this is all what we're doing, and we're going to have that award show, even though we're going to do a lot of it online, because a lot of things, I've been putting this together for like at least a year, but I started working on it 10 years ago when I had to name, like OG6E, and that was like 2010. Scooby knows. I mean, a lot of people know about it. It's still on the record, but that's the main the base of it. But Street Dance Roots is something that I own the name to do this for street dancers. So that's what that's what this is all about. And when we do it next year, if it slows down, we're going to have a Street Dance Roots camp of all dancers in LA, and that's when we're going to have the award. But the award means that we don't have to have a big place to do it because we're going to do it live. But dancers from all over could come, and because of the charity, a lot of people will be able to come for free, and we will work it out for them. So, but that's the thing. But now, enough plugging my company. but it's all about Street Dance Roots, and no matter what you do. But I wanted to say, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to the panel, is that, so I don't want the next guest come on, I won't ever have to repeat this. So I'll do it in front of my friends. When locking slowed down, there was a few of us continued to work. Because of my crazy style, I went through the breaking and the popping because I was different. I danced until the 90s. Throughout the 90s. And then, but the reason that it slowed down in America, because that's the way America works, okay? Like there will be a new thing come out, and it's out for about maybe 3 to 4 years at the most, especially in dance thing, unless it's ballet or jazz or something like that. And then a new style come out. So the industry, because when we dance here, we're dancing to be on TV, to do a commercial and stuff like that. That's New York, that's California. So the directors, the producers and people, they moved to the next new thing. And that's what they did. They moved to the next thing, which was popping, here. And the only reason that locking stayed around when I was in the second generation is that you didn't see us on TV because we did the fairs and we did the stuff like that, Knoxbury Farms and stuff like that. But whereas money-wise, making money doing it, it wasn't a real big thing, but popping, they got big. And then right after that, breaking came, or b-boy. So then it moved on. Now you got choreo, and but still, that's in America. All those dance styles that I'm talking about, or the dances, they're still like so huge in other countries. Locking is humongous in other countries. Popping, b-boy, all over, all the dances, the crumping, the waving, the ticking, all that stuff is huge. But what my idea is to let it stay here, show people that it's not gone. And that's what Street Dance Roots is all about. So that's my story. And I'm gonna turn it over to Scooby, because I wanna to know, Scooby, what are you doing now, and like for the dance community, and you travel a lot, I know. But tell me, when you travel, what's out there? What do you see? Well, the kids and everything. Let me know.
Okay. Wow, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question, one more time. What's the question? What am I doing?
Okay. The question is,
Yeah.
I know now this is like in the year 2020,
Yeah.
and you've been on the road for at least the last 10 years traveling.
Yeah.
And I want to know what you have seen, what you have done, how is your career versus your career back in the day, and the different things, because we know that we can't do what we used to do back in the day. How do you survive and in this time, because you're still out there as an active dancer, teacher, and master of dance. So could you tell me?
At this particular time, I'm not doing nothing.
That's the best thing. To stay alive.
That's good. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like now.
Giving out the virus.
I got you.
Yeah.
But wait. Where were you right before the virus started? Where were you? Tell me.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I was in Wong where it started.
Exactly.
Did you start this?
Yeah, I was there. I was there when they're saying that it started.
Well, I'm so happy.
I just didn't raise my hand, so it didn't mess with me. So
Maybe because you were there. Maybe you were a friend of the virus. I don't know.
No, but that's where I was at. But now I understand the question that you give me since I've been back.
Yes.
Well, what I've been doing is I've been looking and getting information that I didn't know. See, prior to me coming back, I didn't know anything about anybody doing locking. So if somebody right before I came back was to ask me, oh, hey, sir, you look like Jimmy. You used to be on Soul Train. I would say, oh, yeah, you recognize me? And if they would have asked me, well, what happened here? I would have said, well, locking died. That's what I would have said. But after me coming back, I noticed that it never died. Now I looked up to see what happened from the time Don Campbell started it in 1969 up until the time that I got back up until right now. And so now I'm going to tell you what I seen. This is what I seen. Well, when I seen in the 70s, I seen all through, well, just about all through of the 70s, locking. And then when it hit about the 80s, it started slowing down, but there was Soul Train was still going on, where Soul Train is very popular. And there was a guy on there named Washington Charlie or
Charles Washington.
oh yeah, him. He started a group. He started a group, and I think it was in 1981 or something like 80. And boy, he went real good. He was very good on live. So that took all the way to 80. So it didn't die. And then you got Tony Go-Go. He was in Japan, you know, and then all of a sudden he brings in he brought in Camelot Jr., and that was in there like in the 90s. So it never did die. It never did die. The time I came back, you know, and then not only that, they had websites, you know, that was getting ready to start put up, you know, like the Skeeter Rabbit. He had his, what's it called, lurching. I mean, it's hard for me to say some words. But
we got it.
Had his thing on there, and you know, so I was looking into everything, and I noticed it had never ever died. Tony Go-Go and what's his name? I can't remember his name, but anyway, I noticed that back there in Oriano places, Japan and China and all these places back over here. That's where they invited me. I noticed that it was really popular, and I was looking at seeing how good that they were dancing. Mm-hmm. You know, and so if somebody was to ask me at that particular time, they would say, Scooby, you know what? Since you've been going around, that you've been going around at this particular time, where would I go to learn how to dance? You know, what camp should I go? And then I would probably tell them, you know, go see Las Vegas, Tosh and Sundance in Las Vegas at the camp.
The locking camp.
The Lucky Camp, or go to Europe and to not a joke is not a joke. I mean, a lock is not a joke. See, Julie, you know, now that was a very good camp. I love that one there. And that's why I would tell everybody to go in that area. I say go.
That's a real camp.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You know, the only thing is, she has to come in more inside the city. You know, I like it way out there, but it's a long ways out there. But once you get there, but once you get there, you can scream as loud as you want. Nobody hear you. You can make all the noise you want. I love Julie. Anyway.
So do I. She's a great person. She really is.
So these things like that is what I noticed, and that I would tell somebody what to do, what I learned and what I've done at that time. Locking has never ever died. These stripes right here you know what? That's another thing too. When I walked into events, there was some great events like let's see, Max Studio, Aga, his Max, his studio. I mean, not his studio, his event. Right. You know, and there's a check this out, Damita. There is event called Handshake, and they show us. You know, because since we were the first one who started this thing, it was you, and the first one we did, it's called Handshake.
I love it when they show. I love it when they show us what we should know.
Yeah. So when
I created it.
So when I walked in, I started noticing when I first started to get back. I started noticing when I walk in there, I would see all these people wearing shirts like this. They had stripes on because they're lockers. I'm like, wow, these guys know all about what's going on. I'm like, Alpha, you know, well, of course you know now because you're out there, you know. But I'm just saying, when I got back, I was saying myself, this thing ain't never died. It's never
No,
been
it
what.
just keeps going higher and higher.
It really does. It's something that I would never. I wouldn't know how to explain this in a book. It was
try.
Great, well, great. But you know, because you mentioned when the first time that I saw that they were still locking strongly, it's when I came because I had a place, you know, I had a condo in Vegas. I used to go back and forth. But then when I came out to see you, when you magically, what is it? The word is appeared again back into all. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it properly. But I went to Sundance, got me in to see Hip Hop International.
oh
Yeah. That was my, you know, when I was just going because everybody was going, and then I'm looking on stage and they're locking. I'm going like, holy crap, they're still locking. That's the way I felt. I mean, not just locking, having fun. They were serious locking.
oh yeah.
And the way that the reason I brought that up because you can tell that locking wasn't dead because wasn't it Tiffany? Tiffany won, and she had been locking all this time. And Tosh actually was working with Greg, and then she took over the locking camp, and Tosh has been locking forever. You know, she never stopped ever since she was young. And I give her my hats off to Tosh, and Tosh was the person that I respect and love because I would just go because I would go to, you know, since I have a place there in Vegas, I would just go to the camp, not to teach, just to be there and stuff, just to hang out. And Scooby was over, just to hang out and just say, I support you. And then she asked me to teach, and I said, "You're good." And she got me, you know, where I would be able to like teach somewhere else, and that's when I got asked me. But yeah, thank you for bringing up all of that because Tosh is, I know, big hat off to Tosh. And now, Damita, to you. and we're getting close to the end, but Damita, I would like to know, okay, I know that you like the Queen of Soul Train, you know, I mean, that I think we had two, right? I mean, you can kind of like go like this and say, who is the queen? Because Pat Davis was like the queen, and then you were the queen. But you know, so but for us, like the street dancer within locking, you were definitely the queen of the show. See, I look at it like this because Pat, which I love, Pat is great. You were just going there to dance and just have fun and be like us and just. But Pat, she went on. She was always on camera. And you got in her way, she was like knock you out.
He was on camera. But I didn't care. I just wanted to dance.
I know, but you gotta love her because she was an excellent dancer as well. Yes, so big thumbs up to her.
She brought in acrobat. You remember?
Yeah, she was good.
So when I noticed her right away when she started doing it, I said, that is clever. She brought that into the dance. You
guys were my two favorite female dancers on the show. Okay, but now I just want to go back to you. Is your life, I want to know about your life after Soul Train and what did Soul Train do that you feel that it helped you to be the person you are? Because I know all the things you did, right? I know I've been to your house and the pictures that people see behind you is nothing. It's of the stuff you have done. You know what I'm saying?
It was you guys gave me confidence. I had a dream of dancing. I'd had a dream when I danced with on Soul Train, and especially Campbell, and learning his trial and how he jumps into things. Don't even think about it. He just goes ahead and, okay? So therefore, I picked that up. And by going not in the direction where everybody else was going, I went into of course, I went to Two Gents of Verona, and I went into another opera play. I went into the play world. I went into Diana Ross when I was on Soul Train. Was the first time that hired me as a choreographer. To me, what is a choreographer? I didn't know what it was. I wasn't on, okay. But so I was also introduced into the Motown world. The Family, the Temptations, the Supremes. Ah! Remember I told you about the.
Yeah.
Well, I not only did Diana Ross when Diana Ross was by herself, but I did with Mary. So it was the Supremes. But I'm saying that it brought me into learning other choreographers, which I went to the classes and I met them, and Joe Layton and Jaime Rogers and Walter Painter. You know, all these were people that are noted a lot on TV. They are the top choreographers. Lester Wilson, Michael Peters. Well, at that time, Michael was under Lester, but I'm just saying that I had the great opportunity for me in 1984, the Olympics were coming out to and so for the closing ceremonies, I was with Lionel Richie, and they asked Lionel Richie to do the closing ceremonies. That gave me opportunity. I just threw it out. Why not have, instead of the wonderful dancers that come out and take a bow and these wonderful things, that I wanted street dancers. I got Crips, I got Bloods, I got all these different gangs to a picture of I don't know if you can see it. Can you see this? Okay, they're all in the I guess you say in the audience part, because we were rehearsing, and this is all of them how they look. And so I got an opportunity to dance with, I don't know if you can see it, Lionel Richie and me, but I turned it out to be like the master ceremonies, you know, whatever. But the idea is that I showed the world street dancers. We had baby Crips that were, honey, I had 50 white dancers, girls, beautiful girls dancing with the street dancers. I mean, we had the lockers, we had the poppers, we had the robots. And white people were going like, duh, why? Huh? And to actually talk to them, because in the beginning, you know, when you're working with gangs, you know, I don't want to do this, or, you know, they had guns and stuff like that. And my mother was like this. Me, I was constantly telling them, well, honey, you have to be here at 7 o'clock in the morning. If you walk in at 8 o'clock, you can sit on the bench and watch us on the show. Okay? And so there was one Crip who was the top Crip. And so anyway, he came in at 9 o'clock. And I said, oh God, I made all this rumor about it, you know, that I'm going to have to knock somebody out if they. So I just told him that, you know, you're going to have to watch us on time, or you could be by my side at watching and watch everybody do it. But you're not you're a leader, and you're not going to be here anytime you want to. And so I had everybody to vote, and they voted him out. And then I just thought so sure I'd be dead by the next day. But unfortunately, he came at 7 o'clock the next day, and he stood by me. He said, I'm just going to make sure they do okay. And I said, okay. So, but I was so proud of being part of that. Go ahead.
I just want you to.
I can't hear.
I just want you to let people know that, because a lot of people all over the world are listening to you. They don't know who are Crips, who are Bloods, what they are.
that's the gangs that we had, especially in the 70s. We had from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. I mean, even on my street, now they're the old OGs. They're called now the OGs. But yep, we had Crips over here, we had Bloods over here. So therefore, it's the blue gang and the red gang. But they were always fighting each other because back in history time, the cops were always on them. But I had a great opportunity to put them together and to have something. And what brought them together was our dance. Our dance that people all over the world got a chance to see us alive. And we talked about the Nike, how Nike was sponsoring and also giving shoes and everything. But I did a little thing. I was telling Alpha a little story about how the Nikes, they came back and they're whispering in my ear that how at the end of the whole thing, can everybody turn in their clothes in their Nikes? And I just looked at them. I said, these are kids that came out every day for a month, and they're not getting paid. They were there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We leave at 5 or 6 in the evening, and we go into and we're trying to make this happen for you, and you can't. I said, you know what? I'm gonna let you. I yelled out. I had a blowhorn. I said, everybody come over here. I said, Mr. Nike here would like to tell you something. He looked at them because they were Crips and they were Bloods. You don't play with them. And so anyway, he looked at their eyes. He said, I just want to say how great it is to have you guys here. And I am so happy that we're donating the clothes. Don't worry about it. It's all for you. And everybody was that was so nice. I was waiting for him to talk, but strength is down to strength. But anyway, from there, I had this great opportunity to be in a movie with Goldie Hawn. But what did I do in Goldie Hawn? I mentioned to them about we were supposed to celebrate because we're supposed to be graduating from the Army or whatever like that. So I just mentioned to Goldie, because she's the producer, and I said, well, we should be celebrating with a Soul Train line. And she said, what? Yeah, that would be great. So in there, you'll see I'm dancing with Hal, but I start off dancing, and then I dance with her. But I said, everything that I went to, every part in this business, I always threw out locking. I always threw out the Soul Train line. Because nobody out there was really talking about them, talking about locking, and they were keeping everybody together. Even what Carol Burnett show or whatever, or I got to be friends with the Nicholas brothers, and so I got a chance to talk to Quincy. I mean, listening to his story, and then I would tell him the music of how we got together with the music and everything. So I'm always pushing to the point for us. And so right now, I mean, you're looking at American Idol. Yeah, but before American Idol, there was a show called Big Break by Dick Clark. And who put it together? Me. Yeah, the reason why you got American Idol is because I was part of. I created it. I did everything. The only thing I made, of course, our show more expensive. So therefore, for American Idol, the band, you don't get a band. You get auditions by yourself. So that saves some money. Writing, that saves some money. But see, in my show, when Dick Clark, which I loved him, now I didn't get paid like, everybody else, but he gave me opportunities to create for young kids show. And that's what I did. I grabbed a hold of it. I mean, I know he loves paying me hamburger or French fries worth or whatever like that. But I had the experience that actually I would sit there. Disney, I always call myself the spook that sat by the door. Just sit there. I mean, when I did a sister or a living single or these are the shows that I kept doing behind the scene. I mean, you may not know who I am, but I'm there yelling, telling them, even for Don Cornelius, for the first show he did was called Soul Train Award Show. And now I asked him, oh, that's good. You're going to put the show, you know, the Soul Train. And he kept telling me, no, that doesn't go with it. And I'll be going, but the world is going to see Soul Train Awards. The reason why Dick Clark has American Music Awards, he doesn't have American Bandstand Awards. That would keep it separate. But no, he kept his. But I fought. I took my, I was the first choreographer on the show. So I gave, I was working also with Lionel Richie. So I therefore called Clyde Thompson to also be a part of it. And so therefore he laid, I laid everything out, went over to London, came back, we worked it together. But then I found out that none of the Soul Train dancers are allowed to be on the Soul Train Award show. I could not believe this. I had to ask Don Cornelius. I said, I'm sure you got at least 2 rows for at least pick out some dancers so they can be there. And he said, and he didn't want to do it. So I said, okay, I will take, you could take some of my money. I'm going to buy all that for everybody. And so Lil Joe, all of them, Pat Davis, all of them, they got a chance to come. And we they had a party at the end. They got a chance to go to the Soul Train Award show. But what's so sad is that after that show, none of us was ever asked to be on that, to go on Soul Train show, award show. None of us. And so I just sit back and I just go, well, all I could do is just try to open up a door. But it takes everybody else to try to open it completely. You know, so anyway, anyway, I will continue as before the virus, you know, I was trying to put a panel together. So so people will not forget everybody was. Now we were in our 60s now, whatever like that, but we still jam, you know, we're still good. But I just, everybody to know how each of us were part of history, is part of history. And so therefore that is where as much, we're acknowledged more now, but at that time we were contributing, we were there, and we were, honey, we didn't get paid, but we were happy to make your show look good. We were there. I mean, yes, we danced with James Brown, but who got the money? Don Cornelius. But I maneuvered because he wanted to do it free for us. I said, why don't, I said, well, we can't go on that stage with no clothes on. So therefore, and I said, number one, I need the Rolls Royce to pick him up. And so we went down Santa Monica Boulevard, and when we got our different kind of clothes, and we studied it, and we made ourselves look good. But I'm saying that I was still young at that time, but I was still fighting at that time. So even on Soul Train, behind the scene, I'm fighting for you guys. You know, I want a dresser. You guys, people were splitting and their pants are broken. Hello, who's going to put on the next one? Hello, why do we have to put our clothes in the bleachers when you got a whole big show and nobody's there but us? You can't take a couple of rooms. I mean, we got to go out to the bathroom outside. I mean, even the second time when I was on Soul Train, my mother, I'm sorry, the first time I was on Soul Train, my mother called the cops because I left at 6 o'clock. And here it is, 12, 11 o'clock. And I told you we don't have phones. Well, on the phones we have is the phone on the corner. Well, on the corner of Hollywood and I'm sorry, Sunset. Yeah, Sunset and Bronson Studio, Channel 11. But that's where they wanted everybody to go. So my question to them was, raped on my way walking out of the studio down the street by myself to get on the phone. Can I point out to you? No. So my mother called the cops. I couldn't call her. And so therefore, Don Cornelius, that was really the first time he looked at me. Excuse me, Damita. And then I told on the phone, I said, Mama, I'm not allowed to go out of the thing. I'm doing it nice and loud so everybody can hear me. And then Don's jumping in saying that, oh, all these phones we have here, you can use the phone. So now I use the phone. And so therefore the cop said, they start talking to Don. Well, they talk to Tom. And so whatever they talk to, then it's okay. Everything's okay. Now I can talk to my mama. Hello, excuse me. So from now on, we have a phone in the studio for use for at least for emergencies. So, you know, it was always, and I would always go to Scooby and Perry and Campbell. I said that these are the things we should be having. Why are we all so happy? They're not that happy. And Don Cornelius wouldn't even say hello and bye to us or nothing. We were here to make him look good. So all he had to do was just say, hey, good morning, everybody. No, he got on the set ready to do, you know, and peace, love, and happiness. So he didn't want me to be on American Bandstand. And I mentioned one time, why did I mention that? Dick Clark didn't have no cue cards. So when the next time we were on, that peace, love, and soul hours, you couldn't get it right. And I kept saying, somebody, please give him a cue card. But in that, for me, I will continue to keep fighting and to make people acknowledge who we are. And I applaud you for being part of it that wants to expand and let people know that the locking has not died. We're not dead. We're alive, we're kicking, and each one of us is now doing all different things in different places. We're not all like together like we were in the beginning. We realize our talent. Now we all spread it. And now we all are showing to everybody that we are special and that we ought to be noted. So
thank you very much. Thank you, sweetie.
And Damita.
Thank you.
Hello, okay, Gina. That's Scooby's wife.
Hi, Gina. Hey. And their dog.
The dog said hey too.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up, but first I want to hear from Scooby. If you have any last words, why Damita was talking, quite sure you thought of something that you left out or that you wanted to say.
As long as I talked.
Oh, we love you anyways, no matter what. So Scooby, tell me, and then I'll give closing words, and then we'll move on. And thank you.
Let me see what's left.
I know. We talked about the past. That's what we're here for.
You can talk about the group you were in. Something special.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Well,
I mean, you went your ways too. Come on.
I would like to end by saying that my group was we went around all the world showing locking, showing all their talent in the beginning. And then a lot of the places that we went to, they never seen the dancing that we were doing before.
Right.
When we would come back the next time, they were picking it up. So after 6 years, you did see, not a lot, but you did see some doing locking, and you did see some doing following doing the robot and doing a lot of stuff what Pat was doing. But what I want to say at the end right now is that a lot of times people they hear something and they hear it wrong, or a lot of times like pop and lock. You know, see, that was a mistake. And so now it's we have to remind people it's not pop and lock, it's popping and or locking. It's like that. A lot of times that people start saying what they need to do, and they don't get the information from Alpha or Damita or myself or Don Campbell, and they just do it on their own before asking or finding out about something. So there's a lot of stuff. I'm just saying this. There's a lot of stuff out here which I see 100%. It needs to be helped and for them to know about, and and it was a lot of stuff on your last week that I heard from all of them that they could have, if they was to call me personally about themselves, and then I would tell them myself, I don't want to talk about all them here on a show, but there's a lot of things that we don't do right. There's one thing that I heard one time, long time ago, and that I heard that Don Campbell was playing the dice. What do you call it? Gambling. Gambling is a reason how he start doing the wrist roll by throwing back. I heard that, and I'm like, what the heck? That's not easy. So stuff like that needs to be straightened out, because we want to take this history, and if somebody decides to put us out there to say how this all started, then there's a lot about 15 ways to say it. No, there's only one way. He only created that one way. About the 5, giving himself 5. They say, is this the way you're supposed to do it? I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's like this. That's giving yourself 5. So, there's a lot of stuff that needed to be straightened out, so the history would go back to one person, Don Campbell.
Be preserved.
Yeah, it's got to be to just one person, the right way. And it's not to be, it can't be any other way. There's one lock, one person that wears stripes, and that one person was Don Campbell, and then we all followed him. And then Don Campbell said, that is for all lockers, not just one person with the thing says, whatever it says up here, and then like it only belongs to us. Now it belongs to all of us. So a lot of things need to be straightened out for the history. So if anything ever happens, well, if I said anything happens, something already did happen. Don Campbell had passed away. So now, if I pass away and Alpha go and Damita go, then everybody's just going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to just do my own thing now. So we need to put it out there the right way, right now, And, but you got to be, you have to be, what's the word? You have to be nice about it. You have to be calm and explain to them. That ain't the way you do that, damn. You have to be calm and just, explain the things the right way. Okay, Alpha.
Thank you. That's funny. All right, you guys, I really appreciate it. My closing words is, I know Don has left us. I still just.
Turn your mic up, Alpha. We can't hear you.
I just still want to make sure that I give my, my heart and soul out to the person that changed my life in dance, and that was Don, because otherwise I don't know what I would have been doing. I might have been a dancer, but I don't know. I don't know what kind of dancer if I was, but because of him, I feel that I was a successful dancer. And I am so proud that to have met him and all of the other dancers that I have met. And one thing, and that is I'm always going to say that at the end, because this whole thing that we are talking about is all about Don. And even though my thing is street dance, when we get to the street dance part, I'm quite sure there's something that they want to say too. I mean, not to say street dance, but like the other style, say like popping. You know, I want to talk to those guys. I want to talk to the hip hop guys, the breakers. So I'm gonna get around to all of them, but I'm trying to like first do my own roots, get those, get that root done first. And next week, I'm going to be talking to. It's Tuesday. I'm gonna skip a little bit, but we're gonna talk to the Soul Train girls. The like the legendary Soul Train girl dancers. So I'm gonna have some of them on next week, and then we're gonna do Buddha Stretch that next week, and then we're gonna have the Soul Train guys on. And I'm quite sure that next week Damita will be back because of the girls, she's already said. And then when we have the guys, that couple weeks from that, Scoo will be back with the Soul Train guys, and the guys like Perry and like people. I got to talk to the guys to make sure. I know it's a bunch of people. I have a choice to choose from, but I only want like 5 of whoever, So and so if I don't choose you, it doesn't mean that I don't love you. It just means that I know them better. That's probably why. Okay, no, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys.
Wait a minute.
I love you guys. Oh yeah. We want to make sure that you guys out there, we have a lot of things that's happening in the world, and I mean especially with the Black Lives Matter and Black Lives Do Matter. Our lives matter, and I'm proud to say it. But we also have a virus. So Damita's idea to let at the end of this conversation to end with saying, wear a mask when you're out in public, please.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, save my life.
Save my life. Thank you guys. We love you all. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Mwah. Thanks guys.
Wow.
Have a good one. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Now what do we do?
Just say goodbye.
Bye.
There you go. Bye, you guys.